Good day, everybody. So now in part one, we've finished the upper body except for the hands and the lower body, which is the legs. So let's start quickly into animating the lower body. We move towards the left view by pressing space, Maya, and perspective view, and then I need to click on the the right. This is the right leg. I need to, since I came to the left view, I need to click on the right leg. Just move this forward a little bit. Yeah, this is the guy we need to select, the left leg. So let's come to 0 and keyframe it. So in the beginning, basically, where should it be? We need it to be in this position. All right, so I think we need to change our view to right, and that's when I can see this more clearly. Yeah, okay. The reason I came to left leg is basically, you see, it is going towards left. What seems to be left for me? So yeah, so what seems to be left for me is actually not left for the mesh. For the mesh, it is right, I believe. Yeah, it's right. So we need to move towards right. So let's move to right. Space, keep on pressing it. Maya, right view. Okay, so that's my right view, and we need to select the right leg. Okay, now that's confusing. Am I looking at the right leg? Yeah, so that's my right leg. Now what I need to do is, okay, let's delete all keyframes. Okay, so in the beginning, what I need to do is, this is my right leg, I keyframe it in the beginning, and when it starts, its position should be rotating. Actually, it should be starting in a rotating position. So let's rotate this and move this a little forward. Okay, and yeah, so let's keyframe this, and then let's come to 3, and that's when we want to rotate this back so it is becoming flat on the ground. So this I make 0, and the rotation of X I make 0 also, so it is actually touching the ground. This is what I want. So it comes down and touches the ground. If you don't think it is touching the ground, let's just zoom in. It doesn't have to be exactly very precise. Just bring it back. Yes, okay, so yeah, it's touching the ground now. Let's start in this position, and then it touches the ground. Okay, and then let's come to uh, the middle of this. So let's say 25. Okay, we've got something at 25. Let me just delete this also. Yeah, so from 1 to 3, and then in the middle around 12, we just come and keyframe at 12, and we want to move this back. So let's move this back and keyframe so it touches the ground and then goes back. Now at this point, you see this ball roll over here. We need to select this and control middle click and drag it. You'll see something like this. Okay, so we need to do that a little more, maybe around. Okay, and we press S. So yeah, let's take this a little further back. S. Okay, so steps, the poses that it hits the ground, and then the end poses, when it finishes that step, it actually rolls its ball nice and smooth. And okay, and what we can actually do is we can copy this and come to 25 and paste. So actually in the end it comes back in the front. However, what it also does is, around 15 or 16, we want to make this rotate. So how do we rotate? Let's just okay, one more thing, let's notice this clearly. It touches the ground, this is the pose, and then while it is coming back, it is actually lifting up its heel. This is wrong. Now we need to make sure up till about 7 or 8 it is not lifting up its heel. So what we want to do is we want to prevent it from lifting up the heel. So we come on 8 and press S, and we actually do the ball roll to 0. So we don't want the ball to be rolling. We want it to go back, and now it can lift up its heel. Okay. And then around 15, press S, and this can also be 0. We don't want the ball roll here. What we do want is we want the rotation working. So let's rotate this and position it here. Okay, and also keyframe, press S, so it goes back, rotates, and then there is perpendicular to the, almost perpendicular to the ground. So this is the pose we need to come in once the step is finished. So the step finished at 12. Now to come forward, it is actually preparing to come forward. So this is 15, and from here it comes here. Okay, now actually what we should do is, before taking the step, before just coming over back over here, it should actually kick a little higher and then come back and take the step. So what we can do is we can actually copy this place, for example here at 23, and make slight change in that. In this, what change? We move this a little higher. Yes, so it looks like it's a kick and then it comes down. A little higher, kicks, and then it comes down. Okay, let's play this. Yeah, see that kick? So it comes higher, kicks, and then comes down. So that kick is supposed to be in, yeah, so it steps on the ground and then goes back, comes forward. Okay, I need to be taking this a little further, so I need it to be a little more solid. Okay, yeah, looks much better. Okay, the next thing we want to do is we want to do the same thing on the other leg, and that's pretty much easy now. What we should be able to do is to copy and paste this. So the first half from 0 to 12 we can copy and paste on the other leg, which is the left leg, from 13 to 25, and the second half of this from 13 to 25 we can copy and paste on the other leg, which is the left leg, from 0 to 12. So that's what we want to do now. So let's just shift select and copy all these frames. Copy from right, go to the left and paste whatever this keyframe is. We need to get rid of this, yeah, and then paste over here. Okay, and that's half the part. Let's go back to this frame. Okay, so this frame we have done 0 to 12. Okay, now we need to copy 13 to 15 on the other leg. So let's come here. So the 13 for 15 will be 0 to this. Okay, copy, go to the other leg, paste here. Okay, let's see. Yeah, so basically right leg's first 12 frames are the last 12 frames of the left leg, and right leg's last 12 frames are the first 12 frames of the left leg. So that's how it's working. So let's see, space, I press space, Maya and perspective view, and let's play this. Okay, yeah, that looks like a walk cycle, and he's walking in a cycle now. So the next thing I want to do is I want to click on these knees, and when it comes forward I need to bend it a little forward, bend these a little forward, little outside, so that will make it a little more realistic. Also, let's look at how it is looking when it is coming forward. Okay, quite straight. So one thing we want to do is we want to rotate these 4 feet out. So let's click on this one for example, and when it comes out during this kick from here till here, let's rotate this a little bit towards the right side. Okay, and now let's notice this. Okay, you can definitely notice this. It's not very straight now. Maybe we want to do a little more rotation towards the right side. Yes, and then it comes back here, and when it touches the ground it is actually like this. So maybe we need to do this rotation, exact same rotation on 2 frames. Let's see what is the rotation of this. This is, let's keep this slight here, and let's keep this more so it becomes gradual. Let's play. Okay, okay, so let's keep this also slightly more, and this one is more, and this one is even more. Okay, let's play this now. Okay, let's bring this back a little, and this also back a little, and play. Okay, that looks much smoother. So we start from here, come out, and make that a little more. Yeah. So notice we're not moving it. We're not moving the X or Y axis. We're just rotating this out. And if you come and see from the half speed, you should see the gradual coming out of this. Yeah, it's gradual coming out. It's not immediate. And okay, that's the rotation we have here in this feed, and do that similarly in the other feed also. So we'll do that from here. So this is the rotation when it comes here. Let's rotate this a little more outside. Yes, and this, when it steps on the ground, it's fine. I mean, you shouldn't be actually making that rotated outside. So let's see. It hasn't stepped on the ground yet, so this should also be rotating outside. Yes, so let's play. Hasn't touched the ground yet. This also hasn't touched the ground yet. So let's rotate this, and then we bring it back gradually. Now let's look at both of these. Goes outside. Okay, how much rotation is this? Minus 24. This one is minus 24. Minus 24, minus 5, 2. Minus 24, minus 5, 2. Okay. Okay, I'm going to rotate this a little more, and I press S. Okay. You see, now I'm polishing it. There's no major movement I'm doing now. I'm just polishing it to make it better. So it's like this, and it goes inside. So from here till here there's no major difference. Okay, let's bring this back to the real time. This is the real time. You notice you won't be able to see from the sides actually, but from the front, you really, you know, want to be in detail. You need to go into the detail and see that these are actually more closer to reality. Okay, so that's the heel part. Now this knee part also should be rotating out when it is coming forward. So let's try doing that. I click on this, okay, and let's see where it is. Okay, so let's keyframe in the beginning wherever it is, moves forward, and at 12 it comes back. It takes a step actually at 12, and whatever it is, I'm just keyframing its positions. It's as per its original flow. I'm just keyframing those positions so we don't disturb that. However, when it is coming forward now, I want to rotate it out. So coming forward, I want to rotate it out. So what I do is somewhere here, I press keyframe, and then between 4 and 12 I want to rotate it out actually. So okay, now 8 I will rotate. I need to click on, make sure I'm clicking on the right thing. This is the rotation I do. This is only slight rotation, nothing major. It's a little more, and then it comes back. Yeah, okay, so let's see. It's too much, or there is a flicker, so let's delete. I think actually we don't need this keyframe. Let's see now. Yeah, yeah, that's much better. That's much better. Okay, so what happens is when the leg comes out, the knee rotates out, okay, and then it comes back to its position and goes back. Notice when it is going back, there is no need for rotation because it is stretched. It is, you know, it's a straight leg over here. It is becoming straight. Okay, so we actually don't need to rotate this out. And then while it is here, at this point it is rotating out. Okay, so this is what we've done. I think it's clearly visible. We'll move out and do the same thing in the other leg when it is coming forward. Let's click on this knee control. Okay, let's see when does it come forward. Let's just keyframe its position from 0 to 12. It was 0 here. Okay, 12. Step is back. Yes. Okay, the 12, the step is back, and then it is preparing to come forward, and then it is in the end. This is the end. But when it is coming forward from here, we want to rotate it out. So let's say from 12 to coming forward. Let's notice this. Okay. '18, I press S and I rotate this out. Let's see now. Alright, let's look at this also. 0 to 8 rotation, 8 to 12 it's back. 0 to 8 rotation, 8 to 12 it's back. Okay, and this one, let me do something very similar. 12 to 20, it should be rotating. So I'm just gonna cut this and paste this here. Okay, it's rotating and then it goes back. Yeah, settle, give it time to settle in. Now also what you've noticed is there is ease in over here. You see, it takes time at the back, there is ease in, while when there's a kick it comes forward quickly and then it makes a kick and then it lands on the floor. You see that? This on both legs. While at the back it takes some more time. You can see the frames also. Okay, these are my legs. Now I'm happy with this, I believe. And then I need to animate these were my legs. I need to animate the hands now. Notice there is no IK. There is IK basically, but there's no constraint to move the handle like this. So what you need to be doing is to rotate from here and to rotate from here, so the hands are rotated and in this position. Okay, now if you don't, obviously this is the right side. Let me just delete all the previous keyframes I have on this rig for this. Yeah, okay, so on this hand I need to bring this down. Okay, press S, and remember this leg is in the front, so the opposite leg comes in the front, the opposite hand comes in the front. So I click on this again and I actually start with it in the front. Okay, so the opposite hand comes in the front and I actually press S. Okay, at 12 I want to take it back. Obviously I'll come here and I'll take it back. Remember not to stretch it out too much. Yes, okay, and then I can copy the first position of this and paste it here. Okay, so it should be that movement, very basic movement in place. I need to do that same thing. Notice whatever keyframes there are in the beginning, I'm actually removing them because they are useless, they have no purpose. Now I need to make them in the beginning. Okay, there are no keyframes here. So notice when I press the move tool I cannot move it because it has been disabled uh, by the artist who rigged it. So I actually have the moving option, so I can rotate it now. Press S, rotate it, come down, S. Whatever changes you're doing, please make sure you keep on pressing S. Okay, so it's at the back now, and in the middle it should obviously be in the front. Again, remember not to stretch it too much. Yes, and in the end it should obviously be my mouse. Okay, let's see. Right, okay, it's a very basic one in place. Now the thing is we need to rotate also, so let's rotate this part. I need to keyframe this in the beginning. It should be rotating. It should actually always be rotating when it is coming forward. So I rotate this a little in this S. Okay. But when it goes back, 12 is when it goes back. It is actually now straightening from both angles, like this and like this. And let's straighten this. Okay, now this is a little outside, so I'm gonna bring it in. Yes. Okay, let's now notice only this one. So you should have noticed this is actually bending when it is coming forward. Going backward, it is stretching. So let's magnify that effect. If it is difficult to note, it should be as, okay, yeah, yes. And it goes back, it is stretched. Let's copy and paste this, and copy and paste this here. The end is also exactly the same, and S. Okay, let's now notice this. Yeah, okay, I noticed that. And then this guy also must be straight in the beginning. S, 12S, and here, okay, straight when it is stretched out at the back, and then when it comes forward here, it should be, there should be rotation in the elbow. Yes, okay, let's copy the first stretched out frame. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. What is the gap between these two? uh, the knee and the chest, the knee and the chest should be very similar. It should not be too much, it should not be too less, and it should not be too less here and too much here especially. Now that's something else. So it should be, shouldn't be too much, shouldn't be too much. That's one thing. Second thing, it should be equal. Make sure you, when you animate, you take care of that. And then we need to add follow through here. Okay, let's come. Now when it comes over here, we actually rotate it as there is a follow through. So when the hand goes back, let's do this. This actually follows through. It does not go with it straight. It actually follows it through. I'm going to click on this again. Then when the upper part of the hand goes back, this follows it through. So coming at 12, it's over here. Let's see. Yeah, so follow through. S F4. I'm doing this a little so you can notice the follow through. A little more. Okay, yeah, that's right. So now I can notice the follow through, and maybe want to bring it a little more here. As we just making minor adjustment. The follow through is clearly noticeable. We just want to adjust this, and then at the back. Okay, now from back when it comes forward, there should be follow through also, but remember the knee, the elbow does not rotate in the opposite direction. Okay, so that's the contrary of what you have seen and what you have done from 0 to 12, but 12 to 15, okay, that cannot be done. But what can be shown and follow through is on this side, okay, in the front part. So we want to implement that in the front part also, but let's just come here. This part, when it comes forward, there's no follow through, but when it goes backwards, there is follow through. Yeah, so let's do that somewhere here. 16 S and somewhere 20 also. We rotate this, press S, and goes back, it is stretched. Okay, let's notice this now. Not clearly visible, right? So we see this here. Let's rotate this more. S. Here, rotate this more. S. Okay. Yeah, clearly visible. How about the other side? Let's just look at this again. Okay, yes, it is visible. And then we're going to work on hands. Okay, let's click on this. I want to make this a little away from this. I'll paste this on 8. Okay, yeah, it's a little better, and that's what you do, guys. You just keep coming back and keep improving. Yeah, it's now more fluid. Now this guy over here, this can stretch. Okay, let's just keyframe this here. 0, 12, and this is the end, S. Okay, now when it comes back, this too follows through. S, 8, further S, and 12, it's like this, and then goes back. Yeah, now when this comes forward, this can follow through, because this is not a very rigid bone like this is, so this can actually bend backwards. So S, you can see, yeah, that's right, and this is actually bending forward now, S, and this is actually a copy of the first. Yeah, now you can see this is more fluid. Okay, let's go to the other one. You need to do this here again. S, 12S, 25S. Okay, so at this point, when it moves forward, I want to make it follow through. So S, yeah, comes to 12, it should come here. And then rotate further. Let's see. Yeah. How about this one? Let's just recheck. There is an additional keyframe we created here. Um, let's just delete this and notice now. Okay, it is noticeable. So both the sides have something very similar in terms of keyframes. Okay, so yeah, that's about it. Then let's look at this knee, this elbow. When it comes forward, it also rotates outside from both sides. Is that happening? No, it's not happening. So we need to make some minor adjustment here so that it actually, when it comes forward here, it rotates outside. So while coming forward from here, it is rotating outside. Now to rotate this outside, you don't need to rotate from here, you need to actually rotate this from here. This part, you need to rotate it out. Yes, so you will notice slight going out and then it comes back the original position. If it's not noticeable, let's do a little more so it becomes noticeable. Yeah, okay. And when it is going back, it's not necessary. Actually, it shouldn't be rotating out when it is going back, and when it comes forward, it is rotating. Yes. Okay, now let's do the same thing here. 0 to, let's say 6, it should rotate out. Yes. Yeah, okay, that's a guy. Okay, that's a walk cycle. He's walking out, and there is obviously there is follow through and noticed in both of these hands. Now the other thing is basically we want him to continue walking straight. Okay, so we're not doing that. We're not moving him in the front. However, what we can do is, you see this, it's 0 to 25. In the next video I'll show that how he can actually, you know, animate his fingers, and the walk we can show that in Maya how we can loop it. Okay, thank you very much for watching.